Welcome, everybody, and happy holy days. That's right. Tonight's show of Saturday Night Live with the Global Peace Tribe is all about the holy days season. And so I want to welcome all of you. And we have a really beautiful show lined up, and some of our favorite presenters and speakers are going to be with us. Some of them did pre-recorded videos for us, and of course some of them are live. And we've got great music, and most of all, want to really invite all of you to come on in to our Zoom room. So for those of you watching on Facebook, welcome. And for those of you watching on YouTube, welcome. And if you're watching this live, come on into our Zoom room right now. It's really easy. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com. That's globalpeacetribe.com, and join. And boom, you'll be in our Zoom room, and that way you can interact. And we always have great conversations going on between our different Zoom room participants and our presenters. So please do come and join us that way. I also want to acknowledge any of you that are watching our recording. Our statistics and numbers are showing us that more and more people are watching the recordings of this show. So welcome. It's going to be a wonderful show. We've got a lot of special guests and treats. And to tell you all about the show, here's my producing partner and our co-host, Deborah Giusti.
Thank you and welcome everyone. This is now our 88th show that we've produced every Saturday night since the lockdown. We have 2 more shows for this season, A Glimpse of Heaven, season 7, and we're going to continue through the end of the year and beyond with your support. And again, we'd like to thank you for all your donations, because we do offer this for free to the world, and it's your donations that keeps us moving and thriving forward. So thank you so much. And yes, tonight our theme is preparing for the holy days and the new year. This is a very special and important time of year, but it can also be very challenging for many. For some, it's a time to reconnect with your friends and your family. And for others, they can experience sadness and loneliness. For some, it's sacred and spiritual time. And for others, it can create cynicism of what is going on in this world. But most of the time, and most of all, it's a time to really share love. And that's what this show is going to be about. And share the gratitude that we do have for family and friends and all the blessings that we do have in life. So tonight we're going to support you, our dear Global Peace Tribe family, by providing specific tips and tools and practices that can make this season successful and enjoyable as possible. And we're bringing back some of our very favorite and important presenters to share their wisdom and inspiration. Tonight, we will have with us Michael Bernard Beckwith. He's the founder and spiritual director of Agape International Spiritual Center. He's well known around the world for his inspirational wisdom and highly regarded for his teachings on the science of inner transformation. And we're also very happy to have Reverend Matthew Fox. He's an author, theologian, and activist priest, and he's been calling people of spirit and consciousness into the creation spirituality lineage for over 50 years. He has 38 books, lectures, and retreats, and he has a very inspirational message for us tonight. And we're thrilled to have Chief Phil Lane. He's an enrolled member of the Yankton, Dakota, and Chickasaw Nations, and he's an internationally recognized leader in human and community development. Happy to have Chief Phil Lane with us. And we're very happy to have TJ Woodward. He's a best-selling author, inspirational speaker, and revolutionary recovery expert who has helped countless of people through simple yet powerful teachings. Welcome, TJ.
Thank you. So honored to be here.
And we're also thrilled to have Jonathan Robinson, who's a psychotherapist, a best-selling author of 14 books, professional speaker. He's reached over 200 million people with his practical methods, and he's got some very inspirational connections for us to make tonight. And again, for musicians, we have a really incredible roster with Larisa Gosla. She has been singing for almost 3 decades, and she deeply believes in the power that music has to transform, heal, lift, and inspire. And her music comes from these places. Welcome, Larisa. And we're happy to have back with us again Ananda Yogi, who is on a mission to help people open their hearts and deepen their devotion through lyrical music and mantras. He's a musician as well as a recording artist. Welcome, Ananda.
Thank you.
And we're thrilled again to have the magician and comedian Heather Rogers. She's an intuitive life strategic health coach and mind magician, and her mission is to create experiences that wake people and organizations up to their extraordinary potential that helps them express all of that. And tonight, our organization that we want to support is the Global Peace Tribe, because we intend to continue to provide you incredible programming and even more unique programming for 2022. And we do request your support to help us on that mission. And we'll share more about that later. And we always love to start with music. So Scott, would you like to introduce our first musical guest?
Absolutely. So we are really happy to have with us for the first time on Saturday Night Alive, the lovely and talented Larisa Gosla. And let me just tell you a little bit about her. She, as Deborah said, has been singing for almost 3 decades. I guess she started when she was around 3. And she has traveled all around the world. She's released 2 solo albums. Her song went viral in Latin America, and she's now working on her 3rd album, titled Songs of Ceremony. Her journey of transforming through the power of music has led her to offer these signature courses, a drum and song academy, and the vocal library. And we're going to talk with her a little bit about that afterwards. So welcome to Saturday Night Live, Larisa, and thank you for getting our show off to a lovely start.
Thank you so much, Scott. Deborah, it's such a pleasure, great honor to be here. Always such a joy to share music in this way, especially in such a beautiful, heartfelt space. So thank you, truly such a joy. And as we're, preparing for the holy days is the theme of this beautiful evening. I felt that, whether we're lighting the candle, the flame, or whether we're lighting the internal flame, that we always listen to our hearts as the beacon that can lead us through any dark night, and our collective heart as well, our earth heart. So this song is for us all. Listen to the sound of the heart. This is the place where it starts. Tune within to that place you know. You'll never be led astray wherever you go.
orchestration is in its place. If your mind's worries ever take you to the ground, close your eyes and listen to your own heartbeat sound. Listen to your heart and follow. Listen to your heart and follow. Listen to your heart and follow the sound of love coming through. What would that sound do for you? Oh, Great Spirit, grant me courage, make me wiser today. Pass this knowledge to my children and all who walk this way. Oh, Great Spirit, grant us courage, make us wiser today. Pass this knowledge to our children and all who walk this way. And then listen to your heart and follow. Listen to your heart and follow. Listen to your heart and follow. Oh, the sound of love coming through. What would that sound do for you? Yeah, yeah. Listen to your heart and follow.
Larisa, that was just beautiful. So many people are writing that they already have tears, they're crying. Just, that was absolutely lovely.
Thank you so much.
People are already asking how they can get that song. So I want to direct people to her website. It's her name, Larisa Gosla, Larisa, Gosla, Gosla, music.com. Larisa Gosla, music.com. And when you go to her website, if you click music and videos, the very first thing that comes up is the song we just heard. Listen to your heart and follow. So that's how you can grab it right there. And there's a lot that she offers, including her vocal library. And so, Larisa, tell us a little bit about what you offer with singing training.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for all the love. I really appreciate that. I'm glad that you're feeling it. That means everything to me. And yeah, the vocal library is, exactly what it says here. It's 3 months of singing training. So it's really for the person who's wanting to strengthen their voice and feel really amazing and confident when they sing, so that they can sing from a place of their true heart and soul instead of being in their mind and being worried about hitting the notes. So this is really an offering that allows people to have the tools that can take them from very beginning to advanced techniques and really become an amazing skilled singer.
Beautiful. Well, definitely everybody go to, again, Larisa. You can find it on larisamusic.com or larisagosla music.com. And she's going to be back and give us another song in about an hour or so. And thank you so much, Larisa, for getting us off to such a lovely start.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We'll see you in a moment, in a little
Okay.
bit. Hey, I'm noticing that a few people are having challenges seeing who I've got on speaker view. And if you're in the Zoom room, make sure you have your setting on speaker view, not on gallery view. And that way you'll be able to see who I've got the spotlight on. And I always put the spotlight on our speaker or our presenter. And right now I'm going to be putting the spotlight on Deborah.
Thank you, Scott. And now we are so honored to have this transmission from a speaker that we've had on a couple of times and we highly respect, and that's Matthew Fox. He is an author, he is a theologian, he's an activist priest, and he's been calling people of spirit and consciousness into his creation spirituality lineage for over 50 years. If you know his story, he was a traditional priest, and then he felt a calling inside to expand way beyond his traditional teachings, and he followed his heart and his mission, and he's awakened people all over the world, mystics and prophets, and he honors and defends the earth, and he works for justice. You also may know him because he presented the cosmic mass for many, many years. And we just adore him, and he has a very special message for us tonight.
All right, here we go.
There's a wonderful book that came out recently called Judaism for the World by Rabbi Arthur Green. And he has a wonderful chapter in there, short but very rich, about Hanukkah. And he summarizes it really in 2 words. The first word is light. The second word is miracles. But he defines miracle as our capacity, our experience of wonder, our experience of marveling. Now, something is parallel with the Christmas, because Christmas actually didn't occur, the first official Christmas, till 336. That's the 4th century, of course. And that's because while the Christians were underground a lot for the first century and a half, fighting the empire, they didn't gather for a Christmas occasion really until the year 336. And that was after Constantine became emperor and then converted to Christianity. And then he made kind of a universal celebration. He also built the church at the Nativity in Bethlehem, supposedly where the spot where Jesus was born, and so forth. So I'm just pointing out that there's an evolution in these feast days, and yet both of them have in common the emphasis on light. And of course, that has a lot to do with the time of the year, the low point, if you will, the winter solstice, and the darkest time of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. But both feast days then have that in common, the celebration, the miracle of light. Of course, for the Jewish people, it was the light of the Hanukkah candle. And for the Christians, it was the light of the Christ coming at the darkest time of the year. Light is the most common synonym for divinity around the world. In all the world religions, it gets that kind of attention. And then if we add today's teaching from science, that matter is frozen light. That's postmodern science. That's David Bohm's words. Matter is frozen light. So to me, that's an incredible affirmation of what the religious traditions are saying here, that all matter contains light. We now know that there are photons, light waves, in every atom in the universe. And then, of course, Einstein said he wanted to spend his whole lives doing nothing but studying light. Of course, Einstein is Jewish, comes from that Hanukkah tradition. And so this gathering around light is so powerful. And really, I interpret that scientific statement to be an affirmation of the real meaning of incarnation, that the light of divinity has joined the light of matter, where in fact, matter is light, frozen light, slow moving light. That is the celebration of creation and of everything that Christmas stands for and that Hanukkah stands for. In the Jewish tradition, in the Genesis 1, and we're told that light was the first creation. And that's not the sunlight, because the sun comes later in the evolution, the creation story in Genesis, but that there was light before the sun. It was a different kind of light. It was more like a divine and subtle and mysterious light. And this is a light that enlightens human beings. This is a light that visits us in the person of Christ, but in so many other ways as well. In fact, in the bush that burned that Moses experienced, we now know that every bush is a burning bush, because every bush contains this light that is the photons that illuminate or make possible every atom in the universe. The cosmic Christ is a celebration of the light in all things. That's what John 1 says, that the Logos, the Word of God, is a light in all beings. So it's an absolute gathering of the universe. Now, of course, no one knew back then, or indeed up to 5 years ago, that there were 2 trillion galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of stars. That's a big universe. But in terms of light, the light is present in all those galaxies and all those stars. And that's how we know about them. And that's how we know about the 13.8 billion years that bring us here. And so the Christ is present in all of us. That light is present in us. But we humans, unlike the other creatures, have to work on polishing it up and paying attention to it. We get so distracted by our agendas and our problems that we wander from what it really means to be human. And I think that's really at the heart of Jesus' teaching, is causing us to remember what it means to be human. And to be human means we are capable of compassion. We are capable of peace. We are capable of forgiveness. We are capable of joy. And the cosmic Christ is a reminder that this energy is really one energy. As Judaism teaches, as Islam teaches, everything is one. The oneness itself is God. That's the name for God. And that we humans are invited to undergo oneing, as Julian Norris calls it, that we can one with the divine. The other creatures one with the divine, but they don't have to think about it. Thomas Merton, the great Catholic monk, whose picture actually is over my head here behind me, he says that every non-two-legged creature is a saint. It's only the humans who have to return because we wander so far and we get so involved with our own narcissism and all the rest. So I think that the cosmic Christ is a reminder that we're part of a great whole, and the whole itself is holy. And of course, science reminds us, you take the film of the history of the universe and run it backwards, and it all goes back to one place, to a dot smaller than a zygote that burst into the fireball and into everything that's happened since. So it's all one. That's the cosmic Christ. It's all one. It's all glorious. It's all glistening. It's all a gift. And that's what we're invited to fall in love with all over again.
I love Matthew Fox. He's just so beautiful. And we're actually going to have him on the show again next week, next Saturday night. And he's got something really beautiful to share then as well. I do want to encourage people. He offers a wonderful program. The website is pretty much descriptive of the program. It's dailymeditationswithmatthewfox.org. dailymeditationswithmatthewfox.org. And I really want to encourage everybody to participate. And he's a very beautiful, as you can tell, wise, loving, compassionate, funny, fellow. And so if you want more of Matthew Fox, that's the place to go. Well, one of our regular features that we have every week are the Wisdom Jewels. And I want to thank Jay and Jan for creating them. Jan's at a Holy Day party tonight, and Jay will be with us later tonight leading our after show. But let's take a look at this week's Wisdom Jewels. I love it. From Saints to Bob Hope. Great job. Oh, there's Jay. I tried to. Hey, Jay, good job. Beautiful, beautiful job. Thank you so much. And we're really looking forward to your after show tonight. We're going to show a little promo for that later on in the show. And then, of course, at 8:30 is Jay's after show. So thank you so much. Great job with the Wisdom Jewels. Well, I'm going to bring my partner Deborah on because this is the part of the show where we do a little fundraising. And I'm really proud. Since the show began 88 shows ago, we've raised over $150,000 for friends of ours that have cancer or lost their homes in fires, for nonprofit organizations. And we are dedicating the month of December to fundraising for us, for the Global Peace Tribe. And so I'm going to turn it over to Deborah for some of her thoughts. And then I think we're going to hear from Lynn Twist as well.
Yes, Scott, it's been amazing to do this show and really gather the Global Peace Tribe, all of us that really wants to move forward to create a positive new world and use the power of community to fundraise for all the organizations and people and raise all that money. And we are raising money for Saturday Night Alive in the Global Peace Tribe tonight because it does take the green juju to move forward. And we've got incredible visions and ideas for next year. But it does take that green love for us to put it into place and make it real and ground it. So we'd really love your support this month and really give us the big yes to go forward in 2022. We want to do all kinds of new programming that connects people, that brings our luminaries back, that will also have you have more time to spend with these incredible luminaries that we've brought on for the last year and a half. But again, it takes your green love donating to our donation portal, which is tax deductible, to give us the green light so that we can move forward with all the expenses that it takes to put on these shows every single Saturday night. So love you so much for that. You're what's kept us going, and please keep us going. And we've got our incredible luminary that's been on our show many times, Lynn Twist, to give a special message about that.
Well, this is Lynn Twist. I'm the co-founder of Pachamama Alliance. I'm also the president of the Soul of Money Institute, and I've raised hundreds of millions of dollars for the things I believe in. I worked for the Hunger Project for many years, and I know many of you also know about that. And one of the things that I love to do is ask people for money for the things I care about. And I'm asking you right now to make a donation to Saturday Night Alive, because things don't really run on air. They run on money. Money is important. And I know how much value and how much entertainment and how much nurturing and how much transformational education you and I receive from Saturday Night Alive. And we owe it to ourselves to complete that cycle so that we are a contribution back to Saturday Night Alive. You know, this is a world that will work really ultimately out of reciprocity, generosity, responsibility, and love. And that's, I know who all of you are, or you wouldn't be involved in Saturday Night Alive, because that's who it draws. It draws people like you, it draws people like me, it draws people who are awake, people who care, and people who know that giving back is really important. And there's many ways of giving back, like sharing with everybody about Saturday Night Alive. But right now and today and in this moment, the giving back I'm asking for, is a financial contribution, and one that makes you more alive, that makes you think, whoa, did I give that much? Did I give $500? Oh, did I give $5,000? Oh, did I give $750? Did I give $2,000? Wow, I can't believe I did that. But it was worth it, because what I get from it is so awesome, way more than what I contribute. So I invite you to make a contribution now. I invite you to go huge. I invite you to do something that makes you feel more alive, so that we can keep Saturday Night Alive going forever. Thank you so much, and just go for it.
She is just wonderful. We love her. And thank you so much. You can donate to supportgpt.com. We've put the links in the chat room. Scott has shown the link, the scan, and it's always in our emails. So whatever's in your heart to support us going forward in 2022, we deeply appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Well, Ananda Yogachi was with us earlier, and he is supposed to be with us now, but he's not showing up in our Zoom room. So, okay, well, while we wait for Ananda G to come on, and then we've got Chief Phil Lane coming on shortly, I think what I'm going to do then is I am going to share with you a really fun video with my good buddy Jonathan Robinson. Jonathan is one of my dearest friends. He's been on this show a few times, and he's got great tips for how to manage what might be some of those awkward family gatherings. So let's hear what Jonathan has to say.
Yeah, it's great to be back with Saturday Night Live, and happy holidays. You know, I had a incredibly dysfunctional family growing up where we would have the police called on us every Christmas because there'd be arguing and screaming and throwing a plate. So I learned some great ways to deal with the holidays, to even have my family get along without getting stressed. So I want to give a few practical tips that might serve you during your holiday season. Hopefully it will be pleasant. But one way of making your family get along better is to bring up really good questions. A question like, what's been your favorite movie you've seen in the last couple of years? I'm looking for a good movie that's going to be touching. What have you loved? People love talking about their favorite movies. And rather than talking about politics or COVID or all the stuff that gets us stressed out, this is a way that everybody can be brought together. Everybody has something to say, and you learn about some great movies. So that's a great question you might bring up. Another question that I really love is, have you ever experienced anything that you couldn't explain, like a psychic experience or some kind of miracle? And if so, what happened? People love talking about this stuff. And 70 to 80% of Americans and people around the world have had some kind of experience they couldn't explain. And when people talk about this stuff, it kind of creates a sacred atmosphere. And we got to remember the holidays were at least one time about, spirituality and love and connection. So talking about these things is really useful. One time I asked my dad about this, and to my surprise, he had these experiences. And, he was always wondering why I was doing spiritual practices. And at the end of him talking about an amazing psychic experience, he said, there's more than meets the eye going on, Jonathan. I have you ever thought about that? And I kind of smiled because, of course, I've spent a lot of time doing that. So a really good question can bring your family together. Another thing you got to do is really take care of yourself. When my family was arguing and screaming at each other, I would just go to the bathroom and I would, meditate for 3 minutes. Nobody's going to interrupt you in the bathroom. And that really helped keep my sanity during a time where things got a little crazy, or going for a walk. Also, everybody loves the family dog or the family cat. And just talking about them and petting them can be like an anchor that helps you to feel, that unconditional love that we sometimes get from our pets. And, if you have some quick way of dealing with stress, during the holidays is a good time to practice it, because the world will give you a lot of practice. Our family will give us a lot of practice. And, it might be just taking 5 deep breaths. It might be something I do is I play some music and I dance around, or go for a walk, whatever works for you. It might even be like a warm shower or bath. But it's really important. A lot of people get sick during the holidays because they're eating, a lot of junk and spending time around family. And the more you take care of yourself and ask people, what are you doing to take care of yourself? That's a way to give back to your family and help them to realize, in this time where there's COVID and a lot of other stuff going on, people really need to take on the challenge of taking care of their health and taking care of their mental health, which is a big part of physical health. I'm going to give you one more question that I like. And I originally presented this on the Oprah show, and she devoted a whole show to it. And it was, what is the most important thing you have learned about love? We don't talk about love a lot, but we all know it's really key to being human and really key to what's important in life. And everybody has their opinion. When we have our opinions about politics or vaccines, that just separates us. But really, we're all very connected. We're 99.99% identical genetically to each other. So when people talk about love, which is like the deepest, most sacred part of us, and they share what they've learned, it can create a really connected, beautiful shared experience with family members who you might have been arguing with for the last 20 years. So here are some, great things to learn and to try out. I'm a big believer in really good questions like this. If you want a list of my 12 favorite questions for finding instant intimacy, you can go to my website, findinghappiness.com, and put in your email, and you'll get the 12 favorite questions for finding instant intimacy. And you can bring that sheet to your family and just ask anybody any of those questions and immediately have a great conversation. So be sure and take care of yourself, have fun. Remember, the holiday seasons are really about joy and connection, and you might be the key person that can create that beautiful experience amongst your family and friends. Best of luck to you.
Thank you so much, Jonathan Robinson, my good buddy. And he referenced his website. And so I'm going to take us there. And Jonathan is one of those guys who's always offering tips, tools, practices. He's been on Oprah 4 times. He's written a dozen books. He's really beloved. And his website is findinghappiness.com. Findinghappiness.com. Definitely put in your name and your email address, and he's going to send you all sorts of goodies. He's very, very generous. Extremely generous fellow. So definitely go to findinghappiness.com and enjoy all the gifts from Jonathan Robinson. Well, I now am honored to introduce one of my favorite people that I met through the Global Peace Tribe, and that's Chief Phil Lane. And as I put the spotlight on Phil, let me just tell you a little bit about him. Most of you know him. He's been on the show before. But for anybody who this is your first time, Hereditary Chief Phil Lane is an enrolled member of the Yankton, Dakota, and Chickasaw Nations. He's an internationally recognized leader in human and community development. Phil has extensive experience in his own cultural traditions and is also an award-winning author and film producer. He holds master's degrees in education, and he has been awarded a global fellowship to attend the Institute of Arts Administration Summer Intensive at the Harvard School of Business. Beyond kind of that part of it, I just want to say that Brother Phil is beloved. He is part of this wonderful global network, the Sine Wave people, the World Unity Week people. There's kind of the global network, and honestly, Phil shows up at all of those, and we all love him very much. He has a big heart. He loves deeply. He cares deeply. And Phil, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much, dear brother. And as I was sitting here listening to all the beautiful sharing, Matthew Fox and all the beautiful music and songs, I was reminded of a story my father told me as a young boy, when he was a young boy. And he used to translate for our elders. And so this new minister came to the church there at Wakpala, at St. Elizabeth's Church there on the Standing Rock Reservation. And of course, by treaty, you had no choice but to become a Christian. But I think it's important to understand that why was it that those Dakota, Lakota, Nakota, Ocheti, Chikoan relatives would embrace Christianity when really they had no idea about all the ideology. But what they saw was, they saw a man who went and fasted and faced themselves. They saw a man who stood up for those less fortunate and who told the truth of what our teachings was. Let those without sin first throw the first stone, or judge not lest you be judged. These were sacred teachings. So what they saw was a man who gave himself his life for the people. That's what they saw, is the man. And so of course they sent these various ministers to teach spirituality to our elders, which I have to say that our elders knew this dimension much greater than you could believe. So this one new minister came, my father had to translate for him. And he, after the service, there was one prominent elder missing, Mr. Goodelk from the congregation. He really went on, he says, don't you know this is God's day? On God's day, we have to be here to pray. It's a violation. This is God's day, and so forth. Trying to emphasize that, this idea that nobody should miss church. And so my father had the duty of going out with him to see Mr. Goodelk, because the minister was going to go kind of share his perspective. So anyway, he told Mr. Goodelk, Mr. Goodelk, don't you know this is God's day? You have to be in church on God's day. This is God's day. And, Mr. Goodelk just kind of looked at him, just kind of shook his head again. Oh, okay. He said, okay, now I understand, he says. Your creator only comes once a week. My creator comes every day. I had a horse whose foot was hurt, who was the creator's creation. And I took care of that foot. I was doing my creator's work. So I understand my creator comes every day, every moment. So I think that the celebration we're in right now is to celebrate that we are really part of the transformation that all the saints and poets of all ages have been visualizing. This is the day that the human family is arising and recognizing we're one human family, the prior unity and oneness of our human family, and the hurt of one is a hurt of all. And the honor of one, the restoration of one, is the honor and restoration of all. This is key. And, that's what our work, I'm 77 winters now. I have a few more winters to go before I'm a real elder, but 77 winters, 54 years, the best I can on this path that we're all on together. Each one of us called by the creator of all good things to join. If we have because, there's no question that our prophecies are very clear that by 2030, the nation states of Mother Earth will come together and through a binding treaty end war upon Mother Earth. Now, what's going to happen between now and then? And that's what's Enlightening Our Way Together is about, the 18th to 22nd. As you know, we visited, dear brother, that we want to include Saturday Night Live in Enlightening Our Way Together because we're one. At this point is to come together with one heart and one mind and many bodies with unprecedented unified action to change and to be able to provide alternative to this system we're in right now. The system we're in right now, by the way, from our guidance of our elders, is very simple. Stand in the strengths you have. Stand strong. Move the positive alternative you wish to create without giving your energy away fighting the negative. This system is going down. It's collapsing because it has no foundation. My foundation has no spiritual dimension. And while it's breaking down, we're breaking through. All our lineages who have kept the covenant with our Creator are coming through. And so, I'll just close with that thought. I've shared with you what we're doing in the Amazon, the launching of our 4 Worlds Global Impact Fund in support of this UN Sustainable Development Goals. Because I believe that what we really need to focus on and what the Union, the Condor, the Quetzal Eagle is focusing on is the Amazon. This is our heart and soul. And if we can't awaken to support our relatives directly in the heart of the Amazon, this holiday will be hollow. Because we can celebrate, but we also have to put into action. Like this elder said when he listened to all these talks that went on, they invited him to come to kind of give his approval on these BIA, Bureau of Indian Affairs things. And he said, he walked out before it was over. They said, what's your thought? He said, lots of thunder, no rain. Lots of thunder, no rain. It's time for the rain. It's time for unprecedented unified action. This is what I believe 2022 is about. It's going to be the most dynamic time we've ever experienced as a human family, ever. You think 2021, 2020 was something? Wait till 2022. We will be in a cauldron of change and transformation like we've never seen before. And that's why coming together in unity is so, so important. So I thank you. Thank you for creating this incredible place where more and more relatives of our human family are coming together with a common cause and common vision to see us emerge from this time of great challenge and transformation into this new global civilization, which is emerging everywhere all at once.
Brother Phil, I'm going to, even though you spoke a little bit about it during our early Zoom Room show, I do want to go to this For Worlds Global Impact Fund, because we have a lot of people watching now who weren't with us on the early Zoom Room show. Tell us a little bit more about this fund and how people can support it and what takes place with that support.
Yes. Well, we formed For Worlds back in 1982 when elders came from across Turtle Island, North America, and set the vision. And so through the kindness of one of our good relatives, we now have a what they call a donor advised fund, 501c3 fund. And this is just one of the projects we're working on, and that is to get to the heart of the Amazon. I think that all these great concerts are going on are wonderful, but we have to be able to listen to the heart of the people in the Amazon and support what they're doing. And that's what this is about. But before we take any resources to the north for anything, we need to support these relatives at the south, because that's our heart, that's our soul right now. At this point in human history, if the Amazon goes down, we're going to suffer greatly as a human family. And so I think that as well as celebrating this time of emerging from darkness, what we see is celebrating this emergence of the day that shall not be followed by night. This is the time to celebrate, because we're coming out of the darkness into the light. That's what this is about. We are one human family. That's a fact. That's a reality, scientifically, spiritually, every way you want to say it. The realization of that is going to take a lot of work, all the hurt and pain, but that's what is required. Nothing less, nothing short of that.
Phil, I so love your passion. So just to remind everybody, please, you can go to the For Worlds Global Impact Fund, the For Worlds Global Impact Fund. And you can find it you can PayPal to forworldsus@gmail. And for more information, visit the For Worlds International Institute. Deborah has been putting those links into the chat box. And Brother Phil, I love you so much. Thank you for spending time with us tonight. And if you get a chance, stick around. We've got some wonderful speakers and more music. And it's just great to have you with us. Thank you so much.
Yes, and what I'll do is I'll put into the chat a link to what was happening, unfolding.
Please do, and
I'm going to love to stick around. And is there a visit after this, after 8? Is there some kind of visit where we get a chance to kind of visit, or?
Yeah. We will have a little bit of a break. So I'll text you the details.
Okay, good, perfect. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful night.
All right, thank you.
And day.
All right, and I'm turning it over to Deborah to introduce our next presenter.
Thank you, Phil. We love Phil. He brings so much passion and light and wisdom. Thank you so much, Phil. And now we're going to continue to raise the energy with the music. We have a beautiful musician coming up, Ananda Yogi. His mission is to help people open their hearts and deepen their devotion through music and mantras. And you may know him because he performs a lot with Jaya Lakshmi. They've done all the festivals, all the yoga conferences everywhere. They're diligently spreading the light and love. And now we get to hear specifically from Ananda Yogi and his musical transmission. So thank you, Ananda, for being with us tonight.
Thank you guys so much. It's such an honor to be here. and I wanted to share the first song I wanted to share is the title track off of a brand new album I have called Flow Like the River. So I think I'll just go right into it and let it speak for itself. Okay. So you think you know decisions made from the unknown, but where did they arise? And how did you become so wise to hear your voice inside? The one that's been there through all time, guiding you along, awakening you to your song. What has it all been for? The great search for the soul behind all the lies. Our soul is kept deep inside of who you think you are. A life you thought you could devise, but here you are again, questioning all that you can. And flow like the river, and
Beautiful.
flow like the river, and surrender to the unknown as your path is now shown. The more present you can be to each moment, you will see the blessings of this life revealing in its own time. And if you're patient, you will see everything is meant to be. 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 Doubt fade away and trust remain that who you are is so much more, and the fear that was sown transforms to the known. We trust in your heart, you remember who you are. You remember who you are. You remember who you are. You remember who you Surrender to the unknown as your path is now shown. The more present you can be to each moment, you will see the blessings of this life, revealing in its own time. If you're patient, you will see everything is meant to be. Everything is meant to be. Everything is meant to be. Everything is meant to be.
Thank you so much. Ananda is going to be back with us for another song, but I want to encourage everybody to go to his website, beacons.ai/Ananda Yogaji. And Deborah has been putting that into the chat box. And he's got a lot going on. I want to just spotlight a couple of things. First of all, to listen to his new album, Flow Like the River. And there's so many different ways you can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon. Tell us a little bit about Flow Like the River. What's that music all about for you?
Yeah, well, that song came through when I was in India, trapped, kind of trapped, back in April or May of 2020. It was right when the pandemic was hitting, and I happened to be in India, and I couldn't get back home. But it was a great time because I dropped into a teacher training, and it was just fantastic. And the teachings that I was learning from the teacher training and these times just channeled right through into this song, and so here it is.
And you also do mentorship.
Yeah, so I've had this incredible opportunity, with COVID, that instead of touring around and sharing my music and yoga practices like I had been doing for the last 8 or 9 years, that now I've been helping people with singing, with their music, with their devotional practices, with their yoga practices. So there's different options that you can work with me, whether in recording. So it's been amazing. Like I said, I've had this, bhakti yoga career, singing, doing chanting, yoga for the last 10 years, 11 years. And now it feels amazing to have this opportunity to work with people one-on-one, helping them with their singing, helping them with their music, helping them with their yoga practice, and just, ideally just really opening up and taking people to the next level with their offering.
Well, it sounds like a wonderful offering. So thank you very much for being
Thank
with
you.
us. We'll look forward to, he's going to kind of close the main show out with a song. So he'll be back in about an hour or so.
Perfect.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Yep. Bye.
I also want to thank Lloyd Bardi, who has really become a wonderful part of our show, helping to bring a lot of the musical artists. There's Lloyd. And Lloyd has really done a great job of bringing on some of the artists. Including our- All right, we're ready for the next part of the show. Here we go. Yeah, we are one love. And isn't that beautiful how that theme just keeps coming through over and over and over? Whether it's Chief Phil or the songs we're listening to, that theme of oneness. And that is a big part of who we all are, because we are the Global Peace Tribe. I want to invite any of you who are watching on one of the many, well over 100 Facebook groups and pages that we're on right now, or on the YouTube channels. Come on into our Zoom room. We still have a lot of show left. We're only at about halfway through the show itself, the main show, and we've got a great after show that's going to take place tonight. So please come on into our Zoom room. It's very easy to do that. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and register, and boom, you'll be right here with us, and that way you can participate much more directly. I also want to thank all of you who are watching through our different broadcast partners. Big thanks to Unify. Thousands and thousands of people every week watch us on Unify or also watch our replay on Unify, so thank you. I also want to thank John and Summer Raymer and the Sign Network. They're who get us out to over 100 Facebook groups and pages every week. A big hello to Alan Steinfeld and his YouTube channel and all of our broadcast partners that are helping to get us out to the world. Thank you very, very much. I also want to acknowledge that we have an ongoing sponsor, and they do a great job, and it's Qualia. Now, those of you who've been watching the show have noticed that over the last few weeks, I've been talking about Qualia, and it's because I was using it for a good 2 years before I even started promoting it on Saturday Night Live. And tonight I'm going to talk about two of the Qualia products that we haven't really talked much about yet, and this is Life, which is really good, especially for those of us that are 50 plus. As we age, we need certain special qualities, special goodies inside of our body. My mind is going blank because I haven't taken enough of this qualia tonight. It's good stuff. The owners of the company are good friends of mine. I've known them for many, many years personally. I watched them create the Neurohacker Collective, and it's become extremely successful because the products are all top notch. We've had the doctors and scientists who've created their products on this show, and so you've probably seen them. They also have a product for better sleep. And I'm blessed. I don't have trouble sleeping, but I still take the quality at night, and it just really helps me to wake up in the morning feeling much more refreshed. So I want to encourage people to go to the neurohackercollective.com, that website. She's putting it into the chat box. And if you use the code SNA for Saturday Night Live, SNA, you're going to get a 15% discount on everything you buy at any time through the Neurohacker Collective. So that's pretty cool. So please do support Saturday Night Live. We are an affiliate. So by getting your products through the SNA code, it helps to support us. But most importantly, helps support yourself and your body. These products are great, and it's rare that I get on and I pitch something like that, but it's really good stuff. And now I get to turn it over to my partner, Deborah, and she's got a few words for us.
Thank you, Scott. And thank you for all your donations that you've given tonight and you've given throughout to help us continue, because it really, really does help. And I also want to thank all the people that have helped in all kinds of other ways. We have volunteers that are helping to promote. We have an incredible team. We have incredible collaborators all over. It really takes a village to do this every Saturday night. So deep appreciation and gratitude for all your support that inspires us to keep going. And you can all help us promote. That's the best way. We do incredible promotional videos each week for next week's show. And so I'm going to put that link in the chat room, and they're always on our emails. So sending out the YouTube video of that promotional video of next week's show is a great way to let your friends and family know about it. And we're going to show that promotional video shortly. Also, if you'd like to sponsor, we're lining up sponsors for next year, and we get out to thousands and thousands of people all over the world. So if you want a really unique way to get your message out to this kind of audience, that's what we can help support you with. And if you want to volunteer, we have that all on our website as well. So it takes a village, and we invite you to participate with us and join us as we go forward and create into 2022. And now we are going to show our incredible promotional video for next week, December 18th. we are going to be celebrating the winter solstice, and we are also going to be honoring great spiritual teachers of the past and present.
Welcome to Saturday Night Alive with the Global Peace Tribe. We are the Twin Ray, and we are welcoming you to join us on December 18th.
December 18th is going to be an amazing show. It's the theme of honoring the past spiritual teachers and present spiritual teachers. And so this is really an opportunity to bring your heart full of love for all the way showers that have really guided the path to help each and every one of you reconnect with your true authentic self. So we're going to feature many of the prolific teachers of the past, and we're also going to be joined by many beautiful teachers of the present as well, where each of them shall share the inspiration that really led them to where they are today. And that's exactly what we shall be doing also.
For December 18th, we have assembled an all-star group. Reverend Michael Beckwith, the founder of Agape International. Our beloved Andrew Harvey is going to talk about some of his great spiritual influences and inspirations. Lynn Twist, the author of Soul of Money and co-founder of the Pachamama Alliance, will be with us. And my dear friends Satyan and Suzanne Raja, the founders of Warrior Sage, who have interacted with some of the most extraordinary luminaries around the world. And Reverend Matthew Fox has a really special message about his very unique spiritual inspiration. We're also going to present Astarius Miraculi, who will be providing sound healing and a very powerful energy transmission. Shekinah of the Twin Ray is going to provide her beautiful music video. And as always, live music with Marcy Grambo, who will be on Saturday Night Alive for the first time, and you're going to love her. So remember to register at globalpeacetribe.com, and we look forward to seeing you on December 18th.
This show is going to be very near and dear to our heart. We know that it's going to be inspiring and full of wisdom and really heart-opening for you. And so again, we invite you with our one heart and connecting with the grand heart of all hearts to join us on the 18th for this beautiful remembering of those who have walked before us and those who are present, and for the path that is being laid in order for a grand awakening on this planet and for humanity. And remember the kindness of humankind. And so please join us. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
I want to thank Alan and Son from Virtual World Studios, who create our promotional videos, and they do such a wonderful job. Thank you so very much, Alan and Son. And, you know, the Twin Ray are just such a delight to work with, and it's really changed my life, meeting them and working with them this year. And so please do join us next week. And like Deborah suggested, show the promo video. She's put the link into the website. It's on our YouTube channel, Global Peace Tribe. And, you know, let people know what we're going to be doing next week so we can continue to grow and build our audience. And I also want to let people know that at 8:30 tonight, Jay Mayer and Light Touch will be presenting a really fun after show. And here's a quick little preview of that. So join us at 8:30 tonight for the after show with Jay Mayer and all of his guests. It's going to be fun. So I want to introduce Reverend Michael Beckwith, and I go way back with Reverend Michael. I first started going to Agape church services when it was Reverend Michael and about 15 of us on metal folding chairs in the basement of the Santa Monica Miramar Hotel. And from those very humble beginnings, the Agape International Center for Spiritual Truth has truly become an international organization, reaching so many, somewhere between thousands and millions. His actual church has grown 3 times, and now they have a beautiful facility. I went to Jamaica with Reverend Michael in 1995, and I've just been blessed to track him and enjoy him over the decades. And I want to say he's the real deal. I've interviewed him many times for different television shows that I've worked on, and I'm sure almost all of you are familiar with him. He's been on Saturday Night Live a few times now, and we had arranged to do an interview with him a few days ago, pre-record. And sadly, a friend of his was murdered last week, and he was in the middle of traveling. And so he said, Scott, can we do our interview next week? So I am going to interview him actually on Wednesday, and I'll be playing next Saturday night new material from Reverend Michael, specifically on the topic of next week's theme of his spiritual teachers. But that's why he's not going to be with us live tonight. But he did suggest, and he made a good suggestion, and that was to go to last year's Agape Christmas service. And so this is what he had to say about the Christ in Christmas. And it is a beautiful message. So let's take a look. It's hopefully going to play well. So let me know in the chat box. I have noticed that some people are still having trouble seeing what's going on, and I don't know what that's all about. On all of my devices, we're seeing who I'm spotlighting. So anyway, let me know how this is playing. Hopefully it'll play well.
We become aware that we are the light, and that darkness is the womb that births forth infinite potential within every being. That particular seed in the darkness carries infinite possibilities, and the shelf life of that seed is forever. So when we are sleeping to the inner giant that is within us, when we are sleeping to the Christ presence that is within us, that presence, that infinite potential doesn't go anywhere. It's simply waiting for the right condition to burst forward. And Reverend Jason brought us to the awareness of that sometimes we have to be pulled by a dream. We have to be captured by a vision. We have to be captured by something that's taking us beyond our present paradigm. We have to be captured by something that's taking us beyond what we've known before, and we have to be pulled by a dream until we dream ourselves awake. And that dream begins to percolate. It uses the imaginal skills. You know what imagine means. It means I'm a genie. That's what the word spells. You begin to imagine something, and then that imaginal realm pulls you into a sacred vision. And then Reverend Julie reminded us it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up, kids. That there's something within us so strong and so powerful and so beautiful and so magnificent, untouched by time, untouched by experience, untouched by our misconception of our past experience, untouched by that. And we break through the vibration. And we break through the condensation of the thought forms of separation, and lo and behold, it's a homecoming. The Christ is born in us, in the manger and in the soil of our receptivity. Even Joanne reminded us out of John, of course, that we are the light that lights up every man, every woman that comes into the world, the same light that was found in Yeshua. And here's the soulful reminder. I loved it when she brought this home. I love this particular aspect of our teaching, that Jesus was human. He wasn't an extraterrestrial. We all are at some place. If you go to another planet, you're extraterrestrial there. He brought the awareness that as a human being, He could break the sense of separation from the presence of God and realize that he and God were one. That he said, in substance, when you see me, you see the presence that sent me. And so as we pull all of this together, we're able on a mass scale to celebrate the Christ presence within us all. Call it by whatever name you want to call it, whatever culture you come from, whatever religious background you have. Ultimately, it is that light that is within us, that luminosity, that brilliance, that something that is untouched by time. Are you dreaming yourself awake? Are you ready to come out of your inner slumber of religiosity and come into your spiritual nature? Are you ready to come out of the slumber of separation and materialism? Are you ready to come out of the slumber of mass distractions? Are you ready to come out of the slumber of fear and worry and doubt? Are you ready to come out of the slumber of gossip? Are you ready to come out of the slumber of hate? Are you ready to come out of the slumber of intoxicated sleeping? Are you ready? Because individuals, we grow in two ways. We grow through pain or through insight. Your choice. And so you're here this evening, and you're a part of a community of truth tellers that you can begin to provide the context for insight and revelation, which is why we go into the inner closet, why we pray, why we meditate, why we study, why we fellowship, why we vision, why we serve, why we give, that we may have insight, we may awaken. And the world begins to change in all the ways that we have, as humanity, destroyed. We can bring back with an insight into who we are and whose we are. It's Christmas time, it's awakening time, it's your time. It's your time. Say right now, it's my time. It's my time to awaken. It's my time to come out of intoxicated sleep. I will not be a couch potato as the cosmos wants to awaken itself as me. I will not do it. I will not waste my incarnation. This is the moment. You've heard it. You've heard the songs. You've seen the dance. You've seen God move through Karen, Reverend Jason, Reverend Julie, Reverend Joanne. And you've seen them. You've seen the presence of God that is sending them. Who's sending you? Think about it. When you leave your home, who's sending? Is it fear? Is it worry? Is it materialism? Is it greed? Who's sending you into the world? It's time to awaken to that God presence and let God send you so that you can say, like Jesus, Yeshua, Yeshua. That you can say, I know who's sending me. It's the presence of God that's sending me now and forever.
Let's just take a moment and breathe in that beautiful awareness that Reverend Michael lives in. He lives there. I've gotten to know him quite well over the years. That's where he lives. And he's an opportunity for us to really embody and remember the divinity that we are. He's so good at helping us to remember that. Thank you, Reverend Michael. Thank you. I see, I'm going to just put the spotlight on beloved Mystic Abbot Jerry. I just love how your enthusiasm, Jerry, is so intoxicating. And sometimes when I'm doing our show, I'll just watch Jerry because he's, always on the panel, so I can see him laughing and smiling and dancing. And, I just love you so much, Jerry. And thank you. Thank you for being with us. For anybody who doesn't know, that's the Mystic Abbot Jerry from the Mystic Monastery down in Puerto Rico. And we are going to do shows at some point from Puerto Rico. I'm really looking forward to that. All right. Well, speaking of looking forward, it's time now for Heather Rogers, and to introduce her, here's Deborah.
Thank you, Scott. And Heather is someone we had on the show at the very beginning of the show. We've had her on several times, and she's incredible. She is a conscious comedy magician. So in her, what she shares, there is all those themes of awakening and oneness and love in the comedy and in the magic, which is great. And she's well known around the world. She has performed for the Obamas before and many other high level organizations. And we just love her, and she gave us a special transmission for tonight. Heather Rogers.
Good evening and blessings. We are living in truly miraculous times. When we remember that we are real magic, we realize that anything can happen. If you could look into this crystal ball and see your best possible future, what would that look like? Look now and dare to imagine where you are, who you're with, what you are co-creating, and all the ripple of good that is coming out from that. Tonight, I invite you beyond the new normal into the new extraordinary. And the way to get there is to be right here, right now. Let truth reign supreme. And behold the staggering miracle of you. Each of your 76 trillion cells is a quantum fusion factory, sourcing enough power to ignite a big bang. That's you. So let the little you ride out the sensation of how painfully exquisite you are, how unsettlingly soft you are, and how heart-achingly connected you are. Let yourself bear the burn of your own radiance, and you will find that you say yes to everything. And then the miracles will happen. Try it out. Now, I would like to, well, I have some good news and some bad news. Let's start with the bad news, and that is you have been framed. Yes, you have been saddled with a little part that holds the pain and the patterning of the past. This part is always tearing away at your ability to thrive and be free. This part is deeply unfulfilled and will always be with you. It's hounding you with its incessant axe to grind. This part's job is to tear you down and to give you no peace. Now, the good news, and that is that part is not you. At any moment, you can step out of the little part and into pure, expansive freedom. Why does this elude so many people? Because it's too simple. Any moment you get fully present, you can remember that you were always whole and complete. You are all things and no thing, hence truly free. So now along those lines, I would like to ask you a question. What size are you? If we're all made of energy and energy is expansive and endless, you're no size or all size. How freeing it is to know that the essence that pours through this mortal frame cannot be touched by circumstance and never has been. We have the power to burn off what no longer serves us. If you would like to enter the new extraordinary, I'm going to ask you to lift up your hand like this. Lift up your hand and go ahead and grind the past into dust. Fuse your brain and flush it with white light. And as you do, see all mind matters distinguishing into a pure puff of smoke. Very good. That's a nice practice and good, strong alchemy. Now, we're all ready to let some stuff go now. It's time. And I want you to think about that one thing that has plagued you your whole life. Some people, it's the idea of mortality. For some, it's feeling safe. Others, being wanted, being successful, getting healthy. Think of yours. The time has come to end that pattern. If it is your will, right now, fuse this handkerchief with every bit of baggage and matrix and frequency from all time. Charge it now. And I'd like you to repeat this. Say, I release you and it is done. Everybody go ahead. I release you and it is done. And so it is. Before I go, I would like to offer one last humble gift. And that is the endless spark that is in you. If there was ever a time to ignite your greatest spark, it is right now. So I'm going to ask one more thing. I'm going to ask you to bring your hands to your heart, please. I'm going to ask you to grab that spark, find it, hold that spark, and ignite it. May you ever be ignited and delighted. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. That's really, really fun. Isn't magic just amazing? It brings out the little kid in me. And I just really appreciate your magic. It's really wonderful, Heather. And thank you for your beautiful spirit. Well, I keep muting myself. My hair was much shorter back then when we had Heather on, but I thought it would be really fun to play that again. And I really want to encourage people to learn more about Heather by going to her website. It's heathermagic.com. And she's a great comedian, magician, performance speaker. She's great for parties, conferences, online events. So support our dear friend Heather Rogers. We love Heather. She's great. And I'm going to turn it back now over to Deborah.
Thank you, Scott. And now we get to hear some more music from the beautiful Larisa Gosla. She opened up our show and set an incredible healing and expanded tone. And I'm so happy to have her back. She really does what she says that she does, which she uses her music to heal, transform, uplift, inspire. And that's definitely what we experienced her from the beginning of the show, and I'm so happy to present her now. Welcome, Larisa.
Thank you so much, Deborah. I super appreciate that. And so fun. I've really been enjoying being a part of this evening. So this song is going to be a little bit of a different direction. And previously, I heard a lot of beautiful talk around oneness and knowing that we are one. And one of the ways that I connect to that is through vibration and voice. And the other way is through the earth and nature. So I'm going to actually sing a bit of a song that is a fusion between a cover by my dear sister Winsong Martin, who wrote this song in a ceremonial context, and fuse it with a bit of my own inspiration. So here we go. We are singing our hearts, singing our souls, sing from the rooftops and let it go. Sing our hearts, sing our souls, give it to the rhythm, then let it go. We are singing our hearts, singing our souls, sing to the stars, then let it go. Sing our hearts, sing our souls, give it to the earth, then let it go.
hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, oh, hey ya, ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, oh, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, hey ya, oh, hey ya, ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, oh. Mother, I hear you in the river song, eternal waters flowing on and on. Mother, I hear you in the river song, eternal waters flowing on and on. Hey-ya, 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 ya, hey-ya, hey-ya, ho. Hey-ya, ya, hey-ya, 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 ho. Hey-ya, 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 ya, hey-ya, hey-ya, ho. Hey-ya, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, ho. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. Hey ya ho, hey ya, ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya ho, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, hey ya ho, hey ya, ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya ho. Step by step, inch by inch, moment by moment, we are listening, yeah, step by step, beat by beat, feeling the rhythm of the heartbeat, step by step, inch by inch, moment by moment, we are listening, yeah, step by step, beat by beat, feeling the rhythm of the heartbeat. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, ya, hey ya, hey ya, ho.
I am so grateful for your presence on our show tonight. Thank you, Lloyd Barty, for introducing us to Larisa. You just have such a beautiful, beautiful quality. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Scott. And yes, thank you, Lloyd, as well. Deeply appreciate being here.
A reminder again, her website is her name, Larisa Gosla music.com. Larisa, Larisa Gosla, Gosla, music.com. And Larisa, since you just played drums, I noticed that you've got a drum and song academy. I almost mixed drum and song together and so to say drug. You have a drug academy. Um, Tell us about your drum and song academy.
Yeah, absolutely. And Percy, I was just seeing in the comments, you were mentioning Williams, Oregon, and Winsome Martin actually lives in Williams, Oregon. So that was just a sweet little connection there. So yeah, Drum and Song Academy is a program that really supports in teaching the frame drum so that you can feel really empowered singing and playing an instrument together. That right there is actually a version I did of Mother, I Feel You, which tonight I sang kind of a blend of a few different songs that some of you might have recognized. The program is really all about, the frame drum is such a beautiful instrument to start with. If you're someone who's just on the musical path and really wanting to learn deeper how to connect to music that supports in that deeper connection to spirit, to source, to yourself. So I find that the frame drum is such a beautiful tool to start with. So the program really includes teachings how to do that. It includes how to sing medicine, ceremonial songs, how to write your own songs. So that's all that is about. And one thing that I'm really excited to offer, if you were here in the beginning and you heard my first song and you heard about the vocal library, is that if anyone is here tonight and you decide to work with me or join any of my programs in any way, you do get a special little discount. So if that's you, then please do feel free to reach out personally. And I would be super, super happy to offer that to you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Larisa. Thank you for your generosity. And I sure hope you'll come back and be on our show again.
I would absolutely love to. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a joy.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
I get to introduce somebody that I have tremendous respect for, and that's TJ Woodward. When we were putting this show together, I knew that I wanted it to be, recognizing different traditions, but also really dropping into a non-denominational understanding. And so Chief Phil is somebody who brings in the indigenous background but preaches oneness. Reverend Michael, obviously. In fact, Reverend Michael is a good friend of TJ's. They've collaborated many, many times. So some of you may have seen TJ when he's been on the show before, but for any of you that are new to TJ, let me tell you just a little bit about him. He's a best-selling author, an inspirational speaker, and most of all, I believe, a revolutionary recovery expert. He has helped countless people through his very simple yet powerful teachings. He was given the honor of being ordained as an agape minister by Dr. Michael Beckwith, and he was the founding minister of the San Francisco Bay Area Agape, which was in Oakland. That was the very first satellite community of the Agape International Spiritual Center, founded by Dr. Michael Beckwith. TJ is a featured thought leader, and he's worked along with Brene Brown, Marianne Williamson, Gabor Mate. Just this weekend, he's been working with Zach Bush. People are really catching on to TJ. He's the author of several best-selling books, Conscious Being, Conscious Recovery, and Conscious Creation. And we're going to learn a little bit more about that. But with no further ado, take it away, TJ.
Wow, thank you, Scott. And I'm so delighted to be here. And I always like to start with gratitude. Anything I do, I always tune into the frequency of that. And I want to just speak gratitude for the incredible music this evening, just so heart-opening. I followed both of you on Spotify just instantly. So I love that. I love having music that lifts us up and opens our heart. And to both of you, just so much gratitude. And of course, to all the speakers. What I feel called to share with you this evening is my conscious creation process. Here we are in the holidays, and after the holidays, or part of the holidays, is us moving into the new year, if you follow the calendar that many of us do. And of course, we know that January 1st is a pretty arbitrary day, actually. It's not the beginning of spring, or it's not necessarily connected with the natural rhythm of the earth, but it is a time that collectively we have decided that it's a time to really create the life that we want to create. It's a time that we might start to reflect on what we want to release and what we want to create. The idea of New Year's resolutions, for example. And so I want to share with you the process that I've created that is conscious recovery, 5 steps to embracing the life of your dreams. Before I get into this process, I want to share a little bit of history of how it came to be, and maybe even more importantly, why it came to be. And it really is my own journey. During this evening's show, I was reflecting on my own spiritual path, and I realized that it was pretty much around this time of year, 33 years ago, that I walked into my first New Thought Center. And there was something that happened when I walked into that room that was absolutely life-changing for me. It was a different language. It was a different energy. It was a very different way of seeing the world. And one of the things that I grabbed onto was this idea of affirmations, and this idea that it is thought that creates reality. Now, this is before we called it the law of attraction, but it really is that principle of this idea that we create reality based on thought. So if you're anything like me, maybe you are, maybe you've tried the law of attraction, or you've tried these principles, or you've tried to change your thinking, and maybe you've gotten some mixed results. I certainly did. I tried so desperately to use the power of positive thinking, but something kept getting in the way. And then at one point, I discovered the power of vision boards. And I remember just putting everything I wanted to manifest on this board and spending so many years trying to manifest that. And I think there was an unconscious thought, belief, or idea that if I could manifest everything on my vision board, then I could be happy. And what I want to share with you is what actually transpired in my own journey. And then I want to share this 5-step process with you. What transpired for me is I did manifest everything on the vision board. Everything that I put on there, the house, the car, the partner, all of it came to be, it came to pass. And then I realized something really powerful. It didn't change anything. Nothing really changed. And I had this idea that if I could just manifest all of this stuff, I would be happy. And so through quite a journey, and it was a journey of a lot of loss, it was a journey of a lot of what we would call difficult times, and really entering the dark night of the soul when I realized at one point what my true calling was. It was an idea, it was a flash of an idea that I wanted to shift my life into being a spiritual teacher, not exactly knowing what that was going to look like. But when I said yes to that, everything in my world collapsed. The reason I'm sharing this is there was a calling for me to have a deeper approach. And ultimately, I created this 5-step process to conscious creation because so many people I've worked with, and of course, myself, we want to start manifesting and creating, maybe without doing some of the deeper work of clearing, because what I came to understand and discover is that it's not really thought that creates reality. It's really frequency and vibration. And yes, thought plays a role in that, but it's not just thought that creates. So I want to share with you my 5-step process, and I've given it an acronym. It's MOVIE, creating a new movie for your life, MOVIE, starting with making peace with the past. In my journey, I came to discover that if I don't do some work of clearing away the past, I'm bound to repeat it. And then O is overcoming core false beliefs. And I'm thinking of a Carl Jung quote. Carl Jung says, until we make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And so these first 2 steps, making peace with the past and overcoming core false beliefs, are really about that. It's what has been buried in the unconscious. What are my past hurts, traumas, disappointments that are really living in the unconscious? So what am I really saying by this? I tried so desperately to make the law of attraction work. I tried so desperately to change my thinking so I could change my life. But there was something and many things that were unresolved from my past, and they just kept showing up. So have you ever said to yourself, gosh, I thought this relationship was going to be different, or why do I keep attracting these same types of people in my life? Or why does this job, why is it so much like the last one? I thought this one was going to be different. That's really what these first 2 steps are about, because in my experience, until I make peace with the past and overcome some of the core false beliefs that are creating this frequency, we're bound to repeat it. And so in my own journey, I believed I was unlovable. And I was literally vibrating at a frequency that I'm not lovable. That was not just a thought, it was this vibration. And I was walking around with this energy field of I'm not lovable. And so what do you think I was attracting? But maybe even more important, who and what was I attracted to? You see, it's not just about the law of attraction. It's recognizing that I'm literally choosing relationships. I'm choosing situations. I'm choosing all of it, but usually not consciously. On a conscious level, I was trying so desperately to find someone to love me. But on an unconscious level, I believed I was unlovable. So I was continuing to choose those relationships and those experiences. And that's the great news, because once I understood that, and once we understand that, then we can begin to recognize that it really isn't about what's happening in the outer realm. It's really about the inner experience. And as I made peace with the past and started to overcome some of those core false beliefs, what happened for me is I felt more like a blank canvas. which brings me to V, which is visioning. And I want to honor our wonderful friend, Michael Beckwith, who created the life visioning process. And I want to say it very simply, and that is this: what is the difference between visualization and visioning? Visualization, as many of us know, is what do I want to create in my life, and how do I hold that thought so I can manifest it? Visioning is really completely different than that. It is being a blank canvas or a place of inner emptiness and receptivity, and then listening intently to the wisdom within. What maybe someone once called a still small voice, and I say it doesn't need to be still, nor does it need to be small. And when I listen intently, when I get quiet, when I make peace with the past and overcome some core false beliefs, I can start to listen to a vision for my life that is much deeper. And the great news, there are two things I want to share about the difference between visualization and visioning. One, when I live from that vision, it always serves others, not just me. And so maybe you didn't do this, but when I practiced the law of attraction, it was all about me. I wanted to manifest a fabulous life so I could be happy. Vision, in my experience, has brought me to a place of service, brought me to a place of oneness. We've been talking a lot about oneness. The other great news is when I listen intently to the inner vision, I have everything within me to fulfill the vision. It becomes less struggle and there's more ease. And then I and E are intention setting and embodying the vision. And we don't have a lot of time this evening, so I'm just going to touch on them briefly. And that is, intention setting is the practical part. And my friend Gregory Spencer introduced me to this incredible and tangible process that I've been doing for the last 15 years, and it's changed my life. And then embodying the vision, which in some ways is my favorite. And that I'll speak about in two ways in closing. One, it is about being the frequency of that which we want to step into, or once we catch a vision for our life, to tap into the energy of that as if it's already happened, and we know that becomes magnetic. But I think there's something a little bit deeper I want to share about embodying the vision, and that is a recognition that we each came into this world as a whole and perfect spiritual being, and that we came in as a perfect expression, a perfect emanation of the one power. That's really the frequency. And when we tune into that place within us, and we can use so many different words, our God essence, our essential beingness, our divine spark, our true nature, when we tap into that, we tune into that, we shift our life from the law of attraction to the law of radiance. Then we be that frequency. We are alive as that frequency in the world. And then suddenly, yes, it seems like we're attracting all these incredible situations in our life. And yes, we're attracted to different situations in our life. And then it becomes profoundly simple. Let me be the love that I have so often wanted. Let me be the light in the world that I think the world needs. And then we start to shift the paradigm into how we can be part of serving the new paradigm. And I'll close with this. This is a quote from our friend, our beloved Michael Beckwith. He said, "We are not here to save the world. We are here to serve the new paradigm." And I love that, because I spent so many years thinking I needed to change the world. And then I realized that the new paradigm is the paradigm of oneness, of infinite possibilities, of infinite beingness. And we can be that in the world and then make a profound difference on planet Earth. So honored to be here. So grateful to be celebrating this season of the holy days and the new year. And Scott, I so appreciate you. And love, this is 88 shows. What a gift to the world you've given us.
Oh, thank you, TJ. My friend Emily is listening. She's going, "My God, he is so great." So, and people in our chat box, as always. I want to let people know how they can get more TJ. So we're going to go to his website, and it's his name, tjwoodward.com. And again, he's written the 3 books: Conscious Being, Conscious Recovery, in conscious creation, and he took us just a little bit right now through conscious creation. So if you go to his website, and then if you go to how to explore or learn more now, he's got 3 courses. Now you can take these courses, they're online, and you can take them in your own kind of pace. And he's running a special where you can get all 3 for the price of 2. So you can, pick one of them for $49.95 or get all 3. And of course, that's what you want to do. I mean, he's my coach. Just so you know, when I've hit bumps, TJ is who I go to. And I'm a snob when it comes to coaching because I'm a coach. So he's really, really good. He's brilliant. You can even hear my dog is all excited barking.
Oh, true love right there.
True
Yes.
love. So anyway, tell us a little bit about what happens, TJ, when they pick up your online courses.
Yeah, all of the courses are designed to be self-paced. It's video from me. For example, with conscious creation, it's taking you through the basics of that, through video, through written exercise, and through reading. All of them also have a book and a workbook. We all learn in different ways. I'm an experiential learner, so I like to watch video and I write, but I don't necessarily like to always just read. So I've tried to give something for everyone. Conscious being is about awakening to your true potential, that divine nature of who and what we are. And conscious recovery, if you, like me, have ever struggled with looking for something outside of yourself to try to help you feel better, some might call that an addiction. It certainly reached that level for me. Conscious recovery is a very, very different way of viewing recovery, not from the lens of brokenness, but through the lens of wholeness. And of course, with conscious creation, I shared that with you. So all the courses are video, reading, and writing, as well as you can get the book and the workbook.
Beautiful. TJ, thank you so much for your incredible service to the world.
Well, thank you, Scott.
This man is so dedicated. I know him, and you're doing a lot, and the world is a better place for it. Thank you so very, very much.
Oh, thank you, Scott.
One last thing, too, I want to mention is that if you want to get more TJ, he's going to be my guest next Friday night on my Straight Talk show. And, Straight Talk is where we get to go deeper with some of our favorite presenters. So TJ is going to be on with Trish, who's my co-host every week on Straight Talk, and also Annie Rogers. And Annie has really wonderful alternative ways of dealing with recovery. And of course, TJ wrote the book Conscious Recovery. So we're going to be talking about how to make healthy choices for the holy days and the new year. All about how to really, and we all have addictions and compulsions. It might be for Haagen-Dazs ice cream at the end of the night. Or it might be something that might have a little bit more challenging impact on our lives. But honestly, TJ is the most brilliant person I've ever met for helping us to consciously embrace, wow, why do I have that compulsion? Or if I'm dealing with an addiction, what's that all about? And he's beautiful because he never approaches it from the model of judgment or shame, but understanding, wow, why did I make that choice? What is it I'm longing for? And as a result of doing it with so much love and compassion, then we can really drop in and change our choices. So to learn a lot more with me and TJ, join us next Friday night. It's at 7:30 Pacific time for Straight Talk. And it's going to be the last Straight Talk because we're going to take a couple weeks off and then we're coming back in the new year with a new show called The Awakening World, and you'll hear all about that next week. So, TJ, looking forward to being with you live next Friday night, and thanks for joining us again tonight.
Thank you, Scott.
All right. While I'm on the topic of shows, other shows that we do, I want to talk about tomorrow morning's Sacred Sunday show. Once again, it's one of those examples where there was somebody that was on Saturday Night Live, and I thought, oh my gosh, I want to spend a whole hour to an hour and a half with this guy. And that's Steve Farrell. He's the executive director of Humanities Team, which is one of the largest successful consciousness raising nonprofits in the world. And he presents a lot of programming very similar to what you see on Saturday Night Live. And he's just written a book all about creating a new universal dream. So we're going to learn about his book, and we're going to learn about creating a new universal dream. He's a very highly evolved being. And this is going to be tomorrow morning. It'll be very interactive. So join us. It's at 10 o'clock in the morning. You can always watch on Facebook. All the Facebook groups and pages carry it. But I always enjoy people coming into our Zoom room. And just go to the link that Deb was putting into the chat box, tinyurl.com/Sacred Sunday Registration. And that brings you in. It's a free show, and that brings you into our Zoom room. And hope that you can join us. I am looking for our next guest, who is going to do a closing song, and he's not with us right now. So I'm wondering, let's see, I'm going to bring Deborah on for a minute. Hi, Deborah.
Hey, Scott. Beautiful show again, as always.
Yeah. Well, Jay Mayer, do you want to start your after show a little bit early? I'm going to put the spotlight on Jay. Oh my gosh, look at what happens. The miracles can happen. Look at his. That's right. Use Qualia, and this is what happens.
Scott told me to buy it. It's great. Really fabulous.
Jay, how about if you give us? Do you want to start your after show a little bit early tonight? What would you like to do?
Sure. Well, nobody else is here, but that's never stopped me before. So.
Okay, so I am going to officially then we'll close the main show. Deborah, are there any last thoughts you'd like to share?
Just so much love for the holidays. It's really great that we can all come together like this. So many people I see in the chat room who's been with us for many of the 88 shows. And there's a lot of love in the space here, and we'll just keep it going. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for all your donations. Thank you to the amazing presenters, to my partner Scott, who's there every single day to create this, and so much love to you.
Thank you, Deborah, and thank you for all that you do. Great, just in time. Here is Ananda to give us a closing song. Deborah, do you want to introduce him?
Yeah, great. We heard one song from him before, very beautiful, totally inspiring from the heart and from spirit. And here he is, Ananda Yogi.
Thanks, guys. So I just want to share a beautiful kirtan to Krishna, and it's a chant, Om Namo Bhagavate, as the Lord of the universe, Vasudevaya, the illuminated Lord of the universe. So we'll chant that, and we'll chant some names of Krishna and the Hare Krishna, the Maha Mantra. Okay? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nata Narayana Vasudevaya. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nata Narayana Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nata Narayana Vasudevaya. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nata Narayana Vasudevaya. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nata Narayana Vasudevaya. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nata Narayana Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Now you can clap your hands out there if you want to participate and sing along. We'll chant Hari Bol. Hari Bol means chant the names of Hari, the name for Krishna. Hari Bol. Hari Bol, 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 Hari Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo, Haribo, Haribo.
Namaste, and thank you so much, brother.
Yeah.
A way to complete the show, and a reminder again to go to Ananda Yogi Ji's website, where there's all sorts of wonderful things that he's offering, including a bhakti retreat. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So basically, I have this opportunity for anybody who's wanting to do more singing and more yoga practices in the beautiful setting of the Big Island of Hawaii, over in the Captain Cook, just outside of the Kealakekua Bay, if you're familiar with that. And the idea is just to go deeper into our devotional practice with yoga and chanting, learning more about mantra and the bhakti path of devotion, and just exploring our voices, the music, and just diving in deep, and then all being just held by the beauty of Hawaii and the beauty of the natural surroundings, the ocean there. We'll go snorkeling, be with the animals. Maybe we'll even have some beautiful time with dolphins. We're gonna go out on a whale boat to be close with the whales, the great cetacean beings, particularly the humpback whales, who have such incredible devotion and heart, and also this incredible vocal range. The humpback whales have the most wide-ranging vocal range of any animal on the planet that we know of. So it's an opportunity for us to just, if you're interested, to just go and take a deep dive of the aloha vibe and the bhakti vibe with me. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it's March 5th through the 10th, and that's right in the peak of whale season.
That's
In
right.
Hawaii. Right in the peak, so that's a good timing to be there. So beautiful. Well, thank you, Ananda. I sure hope you'll be
Absolutely.
back on our show again sometime in the early part of the year.
Yeah, I'd love to be back for sure. Thank you guys so much, Scott, Deborah, and team. Thanks for so much for having me. It's really a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to thank all of you. There's some really beautiful messages coming through in the chat box, and I'm really appreciating all of your appreciations. Thank you so much. Hey, there's a couple of other things I wanted to let you all know. Deborah and I are participating in this event that's happening on Thursday, this upcoming Thursday, called Beyond Christmas, a Cosmic Consciousness. And it's our friend Michael Ney who's putting it together, using the observation deck with Captain Ron. Some of you might have used that before with Mark Sims and his projects. And he's got some great people. Celestine Starr, who's going to be my guest on Sacred Sunday a week from Sunday. Adam Apollo, who you've been seen on this show many times. Kimberly Meredith. A lot of our friends. Jerry Anderson, the Wild Monk, is going to be there. So definitely check it out. It's this Thursday. Oh, and Deborah and myself, and many others. So check it out. It's from 2 o'clock till 10 o'clock Pacific time. Tickets are very inexpensive, and there's a lot happening. And Deborah put it in the chat box, or just go to Facebook, and it's Beyond Being Human. You'll find that page on Facebook in the details. So wanted to let you know about that. So people were asking if it's tax deductible, and yeah, we are working with Unify, our dear friends that carry our show. So if you donate through supportgpt.com, or if you just get out your phone and pop it on that way, that is tax deductible, because that's through a 501c3 that we're working with. So again, your donations are really, really important to us right now, because we're really trying to raise enough money to be able to carry the show on and expand it and do wonderful things in the new year. So thank you for that. All right, this is officially the end of our main show. We're going to have a little transition, and then we're going to have a really, really fun after show with Jay and friends.